Throughout history, prophets, artists, and mystics left behind cryptic visionary lists recording what they saw when their minds stepped outside of ordinary reality. When we track these accounts in sequence, they reveal a specific progression of how the mind interprets the unknown. A perfect example is a 7-point psychological record known as the Visiones de Debra, or the Visions of Deborah. The record starts with a geometric triangle. At the top, disembodied eyes. At the bottom, a human mouth. This represents a state of passive observation. We observe the world from a distance and process it through speech or consumption. The second vision changes the perspective. An eye is embedded in a tree trunk. Now the surrounding environment is looking back. This animation illustrates a concept called the active vacuum. The focus reverses direction. The dreamer realizes they are no longer the observer, they are the observed. This reversal triggers an immediate primal panic as the mind feels completely exposed. The visceral shock of these images masks a deeper realization: the universe has noticed you. The human mind cannot sustain this scrutiny without the experience bleeding into physical reality. This leads to the third vision. A woman opens her mouth and blue eyes spill from her lips, while another eye manifests on the skin of her hand. In this state, the boundaries of the senses begin to blur. The act of speaking becomes indistinguishable from the act of seeing. This is synesthetic overload. The brain is presented with overwhelming truths and loses its ability to keep the senses separate. With internal boundaries broken, the mind projects this scrutiny onto the structures we use for safety. In the fourth vision, an eye appears in the center of a cross, and in the fifth, a hyper-realistic eye is carved into the relief sculpture of a stone wall. These represent the frameworks of religion and art. When the gaze is projected here, these sanctuaries become active agents of observation. Suddenly, there is nowhere left to hide. Every safe structure, the body, faith, and creativity, becomes a conduit for the universe's attention. How does the psyche react when it is cornered by an unfiltered, absolute truth? The sixth vision reveals a man crucified inside a deep pit of fire. The flames consume him entirely until the pit is violently sealed. The mind interprets this total vulnerability as a destruction of the self. This is ego death, the fiery collapse of the individual when faced with the absolute. These visions suggest that raw reality is experienced as an unbearable consumption of the ego. How does anyone survive this level of intensity and continue to function in daily life? The final vision shows a street lamp in the dark. Its bright bulb is wrapped in thick layers of medical gauze to soften the light's intensity. The gauze represents the psychological defense mechanism we use to survive the truth. We build the protective veil, a collection of narratives and routines that dim reality to a functional level. Art, religion, and poetry serve as this gauze. They allow us to navigate by the light of existence without being consumed by its heat.